a race of intelligent creatures of various kinds chaperoned the human race into this world in which we are in exile. And members of this race went into the sea to become what we today call dolphins, amahlengetho. Over the centuries, dolphins and whales sent knowledge via dreams to human beings. The whales told us all about God. The dolphins told us all about wisdom and art and other forms of positive creativity. We black people believe that these dolphins are not fishes.
African encounter with alien woman.
A creature which shocked me all the more because it was amazingly human. The creature looked like a woman, a woman of very short stature, a woman with unnaturally golden hair which looked as if it was made of fine metal wire. This woman had designs or tattoos of some kind on her forehead and on her chin and just below her neck. This woman looked like a white woman. And this is what I found particularly frightening. And I would rather not tell you what happened then. Let me accept this, that it was a trauma that even now has never been expunged from my soul. I was later to learn that this creature is the type of creature known by the Zulus as Ingupusana. The creature's features are strangely out of shape and ridiculous. Some types don't even have eyebrows above their heads, but the eyes are always piercingly blue. The eyes never blink for one moment. And although its hair is a metallic gold on its head, the hair in its armpits and other parts is a bright, shining metallic red. I leave to your imagination to work out what this creature did to me. And please remember that those were the days in South Africa when apartheid was still ruling supreme. And I walked the valleys of South Africa afterwards, haunted by a double fear. The fear of the Mantindane and also the fear of being arrested by the police for having broken a strange law which was in force at that time. Let me tell you that after this strange, disproportionately shaped creature, a creature with an unnaturally long thorax and strangely short legs and long arms, I was forced off the table by the Mantindane and taken to see a number of things which even now make no sense to me. More than 4 decades ago, I saw creatures in what appeared to be glass jars, little Mantindane swimming like ugly little frogs inside.
African.
The interbreeding of humanity and how the accounts explain that these crossbreeds were put into the positions of royal ruling power, almost as like demigods, middlemen between the gods, the Chitahuli, the reptiles, and the people. Those bloodlines, in my own research, became the European royal families and aristocracy, and today are the ruling, banking, business, and political and royal lines of the world. And the genealogy supports this increasingly. Is there a tradition also that the royal lines of Africa go back to the same source?
Please, you don't have to believe me. Go to Rwanda and there talk to the people there. They will tell you that the founding ancestors of their dynasties, the first kings who came from the sky, and they were called Imanugela, the ascending ones. Say, many African tribes believe that when the gods came down from the sky, they found human beings very stupid, and the human beings could not come before the gods in order to be taught. So what the gods did, and this is a story that you also find amongst the Dogoni people in West Africa, because the human beings were afraid of approaching these reptile gods. The reptile gods cold-bloodedly slaughtered one of their number and shed out its flesh with a specially gathered crowd of human beings. And these human beings then became the ancestors of our first great kings. Now say, African kings jealously guarded their blood.
If the royal lines of Africa claim descendants from the same source, basically, have those lines interbred as obsessively as the European aristocracy and royal family, and not bred outside of those lines?
Yes, sir. Royalty had to marry royalty. That was one of the strictest laws in ancient times.
Which is obviously where we get the term, the divine right of kings from. It's not actually God, it's actually the gods.
Yes, sir, yes. Royalty intermarried with royalty.
The interbreed.
Then the Tokas, the Chitauri. In the very near future, Islam will rise like a lion throughout the world, and that a new war will break out in the Middle East, even bloodier than the war that was fought against Saddam Hussein. A great Middle Eastern nation, I think it is Iran, will go all out to acquire atomic power. Iran will buy terrible substances from China, substances by which you can create atomic power stations, substances by which also you can create atomic bombs and other hideous weapons of that kind. I see that there is a ship in the ocean. It is in the... As we go deeper and deeper into the womb of the future, for about 50 years, the nations of China and Japan and Malaysia and many islands in the Pacific will dominate the world. The former world powers will fade away. Japan will use the Chinese as the blade of her sword, and using this sword of hard work of technology and of money, the nation of Bushido, Nihon, will take vengeance for what was done to her people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan will be joined by one nation, and I'm surprised to name this nation, the nation of Israel. They will abandon Palestine. They will abandon Jerusalem and carve a new nation of Israel in the eastern border of Egypt. And there, Israel shall become part of the Federation of Middle Eastern countries.
Now, this is scary. In 1992, a team of archaeologists claimed that they have discovered a new underground pyramid in Johannesburg, South Africa. Upon entering the pyramid, they faced a lot of traps and deadly insects, so they decided to come back the next day with the right equipment for this job. Overnight, one of the archaeologists went missing, and nobody knew where he is. They thought he wanted to steal the treasure, so they rushed right back to the pyramid. Upon arriving, they noticed the entrance was blocked again, as when they discovered it. They went straight back to digging, and this took them a very long time. They were not able to finish it in one day, so they went back home. When they wanted to come back the next day, another member went missing, and everything was sealed again. They started digging with an excavator, and suddenly they hit something. When they took a look, they fell unconscious and woke up in the hospital. All 5 of them were there again, and they all told the same story. But it could not be proven because they didn't even find an excavator or a dredged hole.
I want to issue the following warnings based firmly upon traditional law. When you see a creature from the stars, you must never show fear. They are not like us. They mistake fear for aggression, and they will hurt you or kill you. People in Africa, people overseas, have received burns from these alien beings. Burns inflicted by beings which felt threatened by the actions of the human being concerned.